Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to the first ever episode of my podcast, which I haven't named yet. Hopefully, by the second episode, I will come up with a good name. Till then, enjoy the first episode. For the first episode, I got a chance to interview MONIQUE MEDVED. She is a fellow YouTuber and an inspiring content creator. Her life lessons and travel films have not only inspired me but hundreds of others. In today's session, we talk about her experiences, the lessons she learned on her journey, and her opinion on life. So, without wasting any more time, let's start the episode. Firstly, for the viewers who are watching and who don't know you, would you want to please introduce yourself to them? What?
Sure. So, my name is Monique. I am from a small place in Australia called Geelong. Oh, it's not that small, it's quite big, but it's probably about 40 minutes from Melbourne. And I've recently kind of just delved into the world of YouTube, and a lot of the videos that I put out are just my personal experiences and journey. I think in 2020, for everybody, it was a bit of a crazy year, to say the least. And I just kind of thought what was meant to happen was I was meant to move to Thailand, and I didn't get to go because obviously COVID and the restrictions. So my whole world kind of shifted unintentionally, and I thought, well, what am I going to do with all this time now? Because I quit my job, I sold everything I owned, I was planning to travel around Asia. And so I thought, now is probably the universe telling me, you wanted to start a YouTube channel for so long, now is your opportunity to do it. There's no better time than right now to do it. So I just started making videos, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. I used to want to be a filmmaker when I was younger. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to get over myself. I'm going to get over all these insecurities that I have. And I'm just going to try it and see what happens. And yeah, a year on, I've uploaded a video every single week, and I've just really found a passion in storytelling again. So that's, I guess, what I'm doing at the moment, and a little bit about me.
That's really great. That's really great of you to start a YouTube channel so you could inspire people. Let me start asking the questions then. So the first question is about what inspired you to start the 30 days of discomfort challenge. Those of you who don't know what 30 days of discomfort is, it is a challenge that she took up at the start of 2021, in which for 30 days each day she would do something out of her comfort zone and upload a video about it. Link to the playlist is in the description below. Highly recommend you watching it. What made
Yeah,
you
so
take up that challenge?
I don't know if you follow Yes Theory.
Yes, I do. I am a big fan of Yes Theory.
Yeah. So their channel basically started by doing a 30-day challenge where they were just going to try and create a video every single day, just doing something that involved them stepping out of their comfort zone, right? And for me, in the last couple of years, something that I've really explored is how stepping out of your comfort zone and doing the thing that scares you the most is actually how you grow and evolve as a person. And I've been doing that myself for the last 2 years with everything that I've been doing in terms of experiences and travel and, trying new things. And I've realized how much I've grown as a person and become who I was always meant to be slowly. And 30 days of discomfort for me personally was a challenge creatively. I wanted to try and push myself to see if I was able to, for 30 days straight, upload a video every single day, because I proved to myself I could do it every single week. But I wanted to see if I could do it every single day and think of a new topic or concept or storyline for every video. So I didn't want to just make it like a daily vlog that didn't have much of a storyline to it. It had to have a proper story or message coming across. And then I thought, this is a perfect opportunity to kind of take my channel into the direction I've always wanted it to, which was bringing other people along this journey as well and getting them to experience what I've been experiencing in the last 2 years. So it involved a lot of my friends and family. And a lot of them did step out of their comfort zone, even if it was just trying something new. I think for me now, more than ever, that's my purpose. Like, I love connecting with people. I've always loved connecting with people. I love the storytelling side of it. So how do I combine all of it into one? And on top of it all, find a way to push myself to grow mentally, physically, and spiritually in ways that I've never attempted or tried before. So that's basically why I started it.
Okay, so my second question is, how have you evolved or changed as a person since you started this journey of YouTube or seeking discomfort?
Yep. So I think for me, one of the things was when I started the YouTube channel, the biggest thing was if you're going to do this, and I remember saying it to myself because for so long, so many people told me, you should start one, you know, you're into video and filmmaking, you should do it. And I dabbled in it a little bit, but I wasn't committed to it. My headspace was all over the shop and I just thought, nah, I'm not ready to. So when I started, the requirement of myself was if you're going to do this, you've got to show up every single week at the same time, regardless of what happens during the week. If you have a bad day or whatever, every single Sunday you have to show up. So by doing that for a year, I found the beauty in consistency. And so now it's just become kind of a part of my life. But also, I take that element of what I've learned just by uploading a video every single week, and I've transcended it into my everyday life. So everything I do now, if I'm going to make a commitment to something, the consistency has to be there. The discipline has to be there. The, pushing myself even when I don't feel like it has to be there. And learning little things like getting over perfectionism. Because when a video is due on a Sunday, and I've got 3 days to do it, there's no time to try and sit there and make it perfect. It's like, get it done, get the message across. And I find by doing that, you kind of get rid of all the crap, and it's just like you laser focus on what's really important, which at the end of the day in a video is the message that you're trying to tell people.
Exactly.
So I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about myself, and this video could go on for 3 hours if I sat here and spoke about everything.
My next question is, you travel a lot. You went to Thailand, you went to Nepal, or Dubai, and many more places. I cannot even name them all. So my question is, what's your opinion on traveling alone or going on an adventure alone?
I think it is the best thing you can do for yourself. And the reason is because the best way to get to know yourself is to spend time with yourself. And when I traveling is a beautiful way to put yourself out of your comfort zone the second you step on a plane. And whether you're traveling with people or by yourself, being in a foreign country where you either don't speak the language, you don't know the currency, you don't know directions, that helps you get places. That helps you to be present and focus on where you are right now. And you're constantly seeking discomfort. And I think when you're doing it alone, it's even scarier. But in saying that, I always encourage people to not even travel by themselves, but go down to a cafe and have a coffee by yourself and read a book. Because in a way, I have a lot of friends who go, I can't do that because people will think that I'm like a loser and I'm, if I'm by myself and I've got no friends. Yeah, and I just think, well, why do you care? Like, what's the big deal? What's there to lose if you go and enjoy a coffee by yourself? But I think traveling alone, and this is where the journey kind of started for me, was I went to Thailand with with two of my friends that I just met. I think I knew them for 2 weeks before we went on this trip together. And then I decided after that trip, I was going to go do Thailand again, but I was going alone this time. And that forced me to meet new people. It forced me to approach people that I wouldn't have normally approached if I was in a group of friends. And those people became good friends of mine, because when you travel alone as well and you're meeting people, they don't know you. They don't know who you are. So you actually get to be completely 110% yourself without any of the, oh, this is what I do for a job. This is where I went to school. This is, what my family's like and, my background. It's like you're meeting someone for the first time as you and completely you. And there's a real beauty in that, because when you're surrounding yourself with people who get to see you for who you are, you don't have to pretend to be someone you're not. Whereas when you come home, sometimes, you shift depending on your family or your friends, and you change who you are. So, yeah, I recommend traveling alone any day. I prefer to travel alone now more than with people. Wow.
That's actually great. I have already heard a lot about traveling alone, though I haven't traveled alone yet because I'm not that old enough. But one day maybe.
Yeah, definitely. If you come to Australia, just come to by yourself and I'll be here.
Maybe one day. So my next one is, who is the most interesting person you have met while you were traveling, and why?
Oh, there's so many. I think the most interesting person that I met was probably, the person that kind of changed my view on a lot of things, I'm going to give you two answers, because one is there's a person who kind of inspired me to do a lot of the things I did now, and then there's someone else who I just found really interesting. So the first person was when I went to Thailand and I met this trainer that, when I was by myself, and he kind of was telling me his story about when he was in the US military, and then he almost died because his tank nearly got blown up. And then he decided he was just going to make a massive change in his life and come back home, fly to Thailand. And then he just started training in Thailand. And he was meeting people from all over the world and blah, 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 blah. And I just thought that's really cool. Like you almost died first. Not cool that he almost died, but you almost died. And from that, you decided I need to change something in my life. And I was at a point then where my life was really shifting. Like I had a lot of stuff going on back home, and I almost kind of ran away to Thailand just to get away from it. And I came back home and I felt like I was this new person, because I realized you are the person that's in control of your story. At any point in your life, you get to say, no, I don't want to go that way anymore. I'm going to go down this road now. And that was a really big eye-opener for me, because for so long, I was just playing out and living out everybody else's story and narrative that they had for me. And it led me down a really dark place. So to hear someone completely change their lives and do a complete lifestyle shift from what they were used to kind of sparked a trigger in my mind going, who's stopping you from going out and doing whatever the hell you want? Like, why can't you go do that too? And so yeah, I would say Damien was probably the person who was the most inspiring, because he's kind of the person that sparked everything that's happened from there. But the most interesting person, I've met so many interesting people. The most interesting person I would probably say was actually on my most recent trip to Uluru. So I went at the start of this year, it was a couple of weeks ago. I went to a place called Uluru. I'm not sure if you know. It's in the center of Australia. So it's basically called Ayers Rock. It's just it's a massive rock in the middle of Australia. Anyway, beautiful place though. It's in the desert basically. And I met two women on that trip who were both in their 70s, and I basically became best friends with them. These women were so full of life and just living their life every single day with I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, no shits given at all. And they were just like so full of life. And it's funny because they ended up both leaving their partners because they were just in really unhappy marriages. And then the two of them are best friends who just travel together. And I thought, that is so amazing that you're going on helicopter rides. One of them wants to go skydiving. One of them's invited me to come stay with them in Queensland. Like, yeah. And it all started because we literally were on the same helicopter ride together. And then we ended up spending the whole day together. And I was just like, these women are like the perfect example of age is just a number. And if you're going to decide that age is a limitation, you're going to limit yourself very, very quickly in life. So they are probably the two most interesting characters I've ever met in my life. Cheryl and Glennis was their name.
So a couple of days back, I uploaded a video on YouTube titled "Why Learning a New Skill is Important." Fun fact: it is
I need to hold on. Let me follow you right now, because What's your YouTube name?
Abdul Rahman. It's my name.
Gotcha. All right, awesome.
Thank you so much.
No, anytime. I'll watch the video when I'm done.
Yeah, that's so great of you. Thank you. So my question was, according to you, why learning a new skill is important? Any skill?
I think just learning in general, like learning something new. Personally, I think it triggers something in us, like our inner child that enjoys learning. So there's so many scientific things behind what it actually does for your brain and your body and your mind-body connection. But I think from all the things that I've been learning, there've been so many different elements to it. Like, you know, learning something new is scary. No matter what it is, there's always that fear of hesitation or fear of failure. And I guess each time I put myself in a situation where I'm forced to learn something new, I not only close the hesitation gap of saying yes to that challenge or whatever it might be, but you start to build skills around it. And there's skills that you start to apply in other aspects of your life or in different challenges. And if they're challenges that might be scary, like for example, learning how to skateboard was really scary for me. I don't know why, but I panicked when I had to get on the skateboard. And when I learned how to do it, it's almost like I fulfilled this void that my inner child had when I was younger, because I was so afraid to do it when I was younger, which meant that, you know, you kind of tick this box that you didn't even know was there, that it's just rewarding. It's rewarding to learn new things and new skills, and then you kind of get to a place where you start learning more and more things, and that whole feeling of trying something new, you've been there and you've done that before. You've experienced those similar emotions and feelings that arise because you've already learned how to skateboard, or you've already learned how to juggle, or you've already learned how to go singing. Like I learned how to sing the other week, and that was petrifying. But at the same time, in my head, I was thinking, yeah, but you've done this before. You've done this before when you went and learned how to surf. You had the same kind of feelings. You got through that, so why can't you get through this as well? So I think for me, learning is just more now at 26, I've found this new joy in learning because I do it almost to fulfill the things that I never did when I was younger. And so in a way, it also keeps me young, if that makes sense.
Yes, that does. So out of all of the skills you have learned till now, which was the one skill that, helped you a lot, or you thought it was fun?
I find juggling really good for stress. I still do it now. So that's probably one that I didn't realize was actually going to help me in many ways. I just thought, let's see if I can learn how to juggle. So that one is a bit of a good one for stress for me. But I think learning how to sing was very, very difficult, but rewarding at the same time, because it was almost like having to get over myself in terms of when I started the YouTube channel. One of the biggest barriers I had was I hated my voice. I hated the way I sounded. Hated it. I thought I had too much of a masculine voice. I thought people were going to make fun of my voice, but it's something that stopped me for a really long time from starting this YouTube channel. And when I went and did the singing lesson with a singing instructor, I almost was brought back to that moment of starting a YouTube channel and sitting in front of the camera again for the very first time, because I was like, oh, you can't sing, your voice sounds terrible, your voice is too deep, your voice is this. And again, those same things came up, but then another voice in my head was saying, yeah, but you've got a YouTube channel and you've got a podcast and people listen to you all the time. What difference is singing going to be? And so then I was like, oh, yeah, all right, let's just do this. So again, it's closing that hesitation gap because of those prior experiences and putting myself into that discomfort zone that enables me now do things without freaking out and, having panic attacks almost. So yeah, I think singing was a very, very valuable life lesson that I learned.
So you actually just told about your podcast. So I wanted you to tell more about your podcast, what it actually finally found is, and you actually have a deck of cards also. So
yep. So again, finally found started back when I met Damien in Thailand, because that was when I realized that everybody has a story to tell. And you can't judge a person by face to face because you don't know what their story is. And I think over the last couple of years, I've really made a conscious effort to not judge a person and more so get to know a person, whether they're a stranger, whether they're, someone I think I know, whether they're people that I always see, like in a cafe, going up to them and actually speaking to them and getting to know them a bit better. So basically what it was going to be was the deck of cards is kind of the start of the story. So they're all quoted cards. And the idea is you take a card on your travels, or if you just have them on hand with you when you go on a road trip, and you take a photo in a moment that really speaks to you, whether that moment is a moment of reflection, whether it's a moment of gratitude, whether it's just a moment where you're like, wow, this experience is really amazing and I want to document it. And then the Instagram becomes a storytelling platform of other people's stories, basically. And then with the podcast, it was just going to be another storytelling platform. So every platform I have, the whole purpose is to tell people stories. And the podcast was meant to be a bit more of a place where I would talk more in depth about some of the videos that I do, because you don't really have much time in a video. You don't want to be talking for half an hour on a video, but a podcast, people are more likely going to listen to you for 25 minutes if they can just put their headphones in and go for a walk. So yeah, basically the podcast is just an extension of the YouTube channel. And in this year in particular, I'm going to focus more, once this challenge is over with the 30 days, on just getting more people involved and giving other people the space to just share their story. So I'll have you on the podcast if you would want to jump on as well.
That would be so great. That would be a dream come true for me to be on a podcast.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to. Like, these people that I've been meeting through this YouTube community all over the world, you guys all have stories as well. And, you know, for you, I mean, I don't even know your story yet. I'll ask you in a minute. But, you know, just to have that space and a platform to just share it. And I guess all these people I've met, you've all started as strangers, and now I do consider you all friends.
That's so good of you. Thank you so much again.
No, you're so welcome. Yeah, so that's basically what the podcast is and what it will become in 2021.
That's great. I am actually done with the questions. But I wanted to ask you what's next for your channel other than the 12-week body transformation. What can we expect more?
So basically in 2021, I don't really have a plan. I threw plans out of the window in 2020, but like I said, I think the direction I do want to take with the channel is actually still bringing people on journeys and experiences with me. There's a few videos I have lined up in Feb that just are more storytelling moments of people doing cool things and different things. So yeah, it's going to be more, I'm going to get more people involved. I think 2020 was hard because social distancing and COVID, and there was only so much you could do. But yeah, I think this year is going to be the year of just helping people realize their full potential and documenting not just my experiences, but their experiences as well.
That sounds great, and I'm excited for it.
Thank you.
So the next question will be, you are already experienced a lot and you are old enough with a lot of experience. So I wanted to know, what is that ideal advice you would give a 17-year-old or any young person at their teens right now, in their teens?
Yeah. I think it's kind of what I live by at the moment. It's really simple advice, but wherever you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. And I think when you get to a certain age, whatever age that is, you start to see that wherever you are, all the things that have happened in your life previously have led you to that moment. And whether it's a good place, a bad place, that place is teaching you something, and it's just part of the bigger picture. You just can't see the bigger picture at the moment, but it's life is there to help you and serve you. It's not there to, you know, destroy you and bring you sadness. Like, those things are going to happen in life, but it's testing you, and you get to decide how you're going to react to every single situation. And I think if I got told that when I was younger, that nothing is ever in your control, the only thing you can control is how you react to a situation, learning that lesson very early on would have been useful, because now when I'm faced with a situation that might be challenging, that might be scary, that might be, you know, sad or bring up really negative emotions in me, I control how I react. I don't like giving that power to somebody else to control and manipulate how I'm supposed to feel about a situation. So I think it'd definitely be, no matter where you are in life, you're exactly where you're meant to be, even if you don't understand it or see it yet. It'll make sense one day. And also, the only thing you can control in anything, in any aspect of life, is how you react to a situation.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good piece of advice. I would consider it. That's actually nice.
Good.